go back 15 years ago, or perhaps 10 years ago, how many people had an email account? Or how many people were like using the internet every day? People just started to use the internet and get an email account. And then the next thing that happened was broadband came along. So people started to do more and more things on the internet. And everybody was getting a PC in the home. So great things happening in the home. And then we got laptops. And we got more laptops. We got netbooks. But it all happened like in the last 5 years, basically. Now today, it's a great moment to be a consumer. Because consumers can do many things on the internet. They can do email. They can find things. They can go shopping. They can do social things on Messenger or Facebook. They can do games. They can basically watch videos. Many things they can do on the internet. And when I'm a consumer, I not only want to do those things, I also want to be entertained and want to be engaged. So when I do something on the internet, I want to give my opinion. I want to share my content with other people. I want to review things and be heard basically on the internet. It's not enough when I'm a consumer just to do all these things. I also want to do it everywhere, not just on my PC, but also on my phone, or even on the TV, or on my Xbox, my gaming device. So all these things I want to do. And then it has to be fast. 2 years ago, nobody could use like the browser on their phone. And now people are saying, hey, I got this phone and I want to browse, but it's kind of slow. So when I'm a consumer, it has to be fast. And of course, it has to be cheap. So let's say 10 years ago, 5 years ago, we would use the internet and dial up through ISDN and pay whatever, 50 cents per minute or 25 cents a minute. And now we expect that like even my phone is like very cheap, my PC is always online, and it has to be cheap. So I'm this great consumer who wants to do all these things on the internet. I can do all these things on the internet, and it's cheap, it has to be secure, and available everywhere. So then you are a company like Microsoft and say, hey, what is my role in this? How can I help make this happen? And also, how can I make sure, to be honest, that people like my products more than my competitors? So the things you do is you build what we call a platform and say, hey, we have software for the PC, we have software for the phone, we have software for the TV. But you also build certain experiences or applications people want to use. You have Messenger, you have MSN, and people really engage in that. And we have a huge Messenger base, for example, in Italy. And then you go out and build partnerships and say, hey, when there's somebody out there with video, can we use your video? We bring it together with Messenger and we create a great experience where people can watch the video and chat about it. So we're not building just this platform, this piece of technology that has no engagement and no excitement, but we really want to build experiences to engage with people and to have them come to our experiences. And it's interesting to see, for example, when today you look at the netbooks. A year ago, people bought a netbook because they were aware it was a netbook. Today, we have netbooks where we have a white netbook with MTV videos on it and Messenger on it, and people are asking for the white one. They don't buy a netbook anymore. It's just like the white one. It's fancy, it has videos, it has a logo. So consumers are going from this, I'm using the internet, to like, it's just a consumer experience, which I just like. And I think that's also when you look, for example, at the iPhone, to be honest with Apple, it's like people like the iPhone. They don't really use all the features, they just like the iPhone. They like the white netbook, they like Messenger, they like Facebook, they like to socialize. So that's why they do these things, because they like it. It's no longer a technology discussion, it's a consumer discussion. So when you then take that to the browser, and the browser we're launching, we're announcing today, you can say, hey, what does it mean for the browser? So it has to be something that is really for me as a consumer. And as I mentioned, the consumer wants to do many things, they want to do them fast. And therefore, you have to bring things to the consumer they want to do every day. So when I have 5 favorite sites, I want to get quick access to those 5 favorite sites. So what you do, you work with partners at favorite sites, and you make those web slices of those sites, so they are quickly available for a consumer. Or the consumer wants to do things fast, then you say, hey, when I see a name, for example, of a restaurant on a web page, I don't want to go to a search engine and find the restaurant and then find the map. No, when I see the name of the restaurant, I can really just click on it, and I can go straight to the map, so it saves me the time of going back and forth between the sites. So that's the way we have designed our Explorer, to really make it more of a consumer experience, to follow the trends of the consumers, and to make it less of a technology product. That's what we see happening. Consumers very active on the internet, but they're becoming real consumers, doing the things they want instead of worrying about technology, and therefore we're trying to build those experiences to really support consumers. To give you some more detail on how this then works in IEA, I'm handing over to Fabrizio, who can talk about it.